Hi, this is Susan. I love restorative yoga. It is excellent for our whole overall health. So today, I'm sure some of you don't have a whole house full of yoga props. So I'm going to show you some variations or some adaptations that you can do for one of my favorite poses in restorative yoga, supported bound angle, or how I would also like to term it, heaven on toast. All right. So if you do not have a whole entourage of yoga props today, you're going to want to find a pot, and hopefully it's clean. That's going to be better. And maybe a cushion from a couch that you have, or a chair, and a couple of pillows or blankets. I'm going to set this up with the modified props today first, and then I'll show you the version quickly with the yoga props in case you have those at home. So to start with, since I don't have, or if you didn't have blocks, that's what you're going to use the pot for. You're going to set it up at the end of your mat or at the end of the space where you want your head to go. All right, so that will be the first thing. And I have here a pot that's not, it's not all that big, but it's about the height of what you would find a yoga block. So that's why I grabbed that one. Then I'm going to take a cushion from my couch. Now, the thing about the cushion is it is a little softer, so you'll have to play around with the props that you use if they're not yoga props, because you want this to feel really comfortable on your body. If you have limited amounts of blankets, you can always use a beach towel. You could use a bath towel. Today I have some pillows that I'm just going to put on either side, and these are going to be for my arms. When we come into supported bound angle, we sit on the mat, and we want to sit close enough. This is what I find some students, they sit too far away, and then there's a big gap of space here. So I want you to scoot all the way up till you come to your prop that you're using, because you want this part of your back to be supported. Then I'm going to lower myself down and just kind of first check it out. So when I come here, the pot is in the position where I do need to scoop my tailbone a little bit so that I can come down, and maybe coming out of the pose, I'm going to roll to the side. Maybe, since this is a little softer than a yoga bolster, I'm going to use another prop on top of it to give it a little more firmness, or even better, put it underneath here to give myself a little more stability in the middle part of this where I felt the sagging happening. When we do restorative yoga, especially if you're really trying to calm the nervous system, you don't want your head to be dropped back too far. So to keep that from happening, you might take a beach towel or a blanket or a bath towel and place it underneath your head so you have enough height there. And then I want to make sure my arms are supported. So right now, this pillow is a little bit supporting my elbow, but if it wasn't and I had air underneath my elbow, I'd want to make sure I had a prop for my arms so that my elbow is not pulling too much and then causing pulling on my shoulder. In this pose, traditionally, we usually bend our knees and come into a pose or a position called Baddha Konasana. So the soles of your feet are together, your knees are apart. And there's a couple of ways of doing that to support it. I'm going to take a blanket, but again, this might be a beach towel that you have, and you'll just roll the long side to the long side. You're going to, again, sit towards your props for support on your back. I'm going to bend my knees when I have this long tubular roll, place it over my ankles, and wrap it around my ankles. I'm going to let the soles of my feet come together, knees come apart, and then I'll gently lower myself down. I might readjust this. You want this to feel supportive for your legs. So if the wrap around your ankles does not, then you might take just a towel or a blanket and prop up under your knees like this. You just bunch it up and so that there's enough support underneath your knees. The other version you can do is just really to let your legs be long, and you can take your, again, beach towel, blanket, whatever you have, and let your legs drape over it this way. All right. Now, if you have yoga props, it's pretty much the same setup. You'll use your blocks instead of your pot. And in that case, I like to use them in this position. And then your bolster will go on top. You'll still have props on the sides for your arms, and you'll have a prop for either underneath your knees, or if you're coming into Baddha Konasana, props under your legs. The setup I just put together here feels so good that I'm going to just keep it and come right into my supported bound angle pose. We'll hold this pose for about 10 minutes, so you want to make sure you're fully comfortable when you come into the pose. 10 minutes is about the time it takes to start to activate your relaxation response. So it's important in restorative yoga that you are, first of all, very comfortable, that you are warm enough. So in this particular pose, since our whole front side of our body is fairly exposed, I tend to like having a blanket to cover my abdomen. And if it's especially chilly, you might even want one to cover your whole body. Our body temperature does drop when we do restorative yoga because we're not moving. While you're here, take a nice full inhale in through your nose and exhale out your mouth. You might gently rock your head from side to side, just letting go of any residual tension through your neck. Soften your shoulders down. Let go of any holding. Bring your awareness to your abdomen. And as you take your next exhale, see if you can release any guarding or holding through your abdomen. If you are in Baddha Konasana with the soles of your feet together, knees apart, as you take your next few exhales, soften your inner groin. Allow your legs to be heavy against the props. Let go of all efforting. And take a moment to observe your breath. Notice the flow of air as it comes in through your nose and down the back of your throat. Notice the air as it's a little warmer as you exhale. Take a slightly deeper inhale in through your nose. And exhale out your mouth. One more time like that. Inhale in through your nose. And exhale out your mouth. Then pause for a moment here before you bring back a lot of movement to just notice the stillness through your body. Pause and take a moment to notice any quietness in your mind and in your breath. We'll bring a little movement to our fingers and toes, possibly reach our arms up overhead. And then when you are ready, bring your knees back together. If you're in Baddha Konasana, roll to your side, pause there for a moment. And then we'll push up to a seated position. So restorative yoga is a great way to improve your sleep. And this pose is good for insomnia. It's also a great way to boost your immune system and to be kind to your brain. When we find ourselves in a stressful situation, it really is hard on our brain, and restorative yoga, that down regulation of your nervous system, is helpful for brain health. So I hope you have a restful rest of your day. Know that you can always come down and do supported round angle heaven on toes for even just a few minutes to press the reset button. Namaste.